Now, the Chinese Communist Party is gearing up for the 20th National Congress. It will start on the 16th of October, go on for a week. The meetings will be crucial for China's future roadmap. Our next report tells you what to expect from the Congress.
Every 5 years, China's Communist Party members gather in the thousands for a Congress that's been taking place since 1921. To the untrained eye, it can seem dull or routine, a sea of officials in dark suits. However, it can say a lot about the party's plans for China. This year, for the 20th installment, it's all about this man, Xi Jinping, who's widely expected to defy convention and secure an unprecedented third term as supreme leader.
This will effectively cement his status as China's most powerful leader since Mao Zedong.
Beneath him, Xi will unveil his new leadership team and a sweeping reshuffle of China's elite. We spoke to Reuters' Greater China bureau chief, Tony Munro, about how the shake-up will affect decisions on everything from the economy to COVID-19, both at home and abroad.
There's a lot of global interest in the Party Congress. It takes place only once every 5 years. The process is opaque and mostly happens behind closed doors.
Specifically, these doors of the Great Hall of the People on Beijing's Tiananmen Square. It's a major political meeting. In mid-October, 2,300 party members from across the country will gather.
And the expectation is, of course, that Xi Jinping will be conferred to a third leadership term. Having said that, we still don't know who will join him on the Politburo Standing Committee, and in particular, who will be tapped to replace the current premier, Li Keqiang.
The Politburo Standing Committee will be the most closely watched unveiling. At the end of the confab, politicians walk across the stage behind Xi. This will be the new engine of the party. Will Xi's role change? Some say unlikely. Xi holds 3 key titles: General Secretary of the Communist Party, Chairman of the Central Military Commission, and President. He's expected to retain all 3.
It would be a surprise if he didn't retain all 3 positions, given that he is perceived to have basically neutralized any meaningful opposition to his leadership during his 10 years in power.
Some pundits have suggested he'll become chairman, like Mao, a title that was abolished in 1982. But there's been no sign he will adopt it. The new leadership will set policy in China for the next 5 years and beyond. For example, over when China may begin to ease its stringent zero-COVID policy.
Broadly speaking, the expectation is for continuity. And that means we can expect to see China continuing to assert itself as a rising economic and geopolitical and military power, and as a global representative or champion of the emerging world, in contrast with the Western or US-led, post-war order. And that manifests itself in continuing to press its claim on Taiwan. And broadly speaking, I think the default expectation is that we would see more of China moving in that direction. China has given very little indication as to how or when it may begin to exit from zero COVID. The challenge for China is that there is, broadly speaking, a lack of herd immunity. So opening the borders and letting COVID in, as it were, could have quite significant consequences for public health. And it is not clear whether China is ready to deal with that or how it plans to manage that. However, there is growing pressure economically for China to ease up or ease back on zero COVID, and it's a policy that increasingly critics say is just not sustainable for the long term.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.